So it's a wet and miserable day here in southern Oregon. I'm in the woods at about 4,500 feet elevation. Fog going right through. And it's been raining here and there, but you can hear all the dripping from all the water falling off the branches. I am on this remote Forest Service road. It gets progressively worse further that way. That's where I'm going to be hiking. Not too far away is the Mammoth Lode Mine. So the mine is off on that road there. Completely impassable. I'm actually going to spur off this way. I came from the woods that direction. I'm going to spur off this way because about a couple hundred feet away this says is the Richter cabin. Alright, after a little bit of bushwhacking down a very faint ancient road, I found the ruins of the cabin. I'll have to do a little bit of research on this. There are some metal parts here. There was a little stash over there as well. But as you can see, it's pretty much completely fallen apart. It's on the edge of a small, tiny little meadow here. So the old road is right there. And I am right here at the entrance to the Mammoth Lode Mine. Now part of the slope here at the entrance has flooded, or not flooded, but kind of caved in a little bit, flowed over, so that's why past the opening here it's flooded. And that's pretty common with most mines around here. But it hasn't really sealed up the entrance, which is nice. And I'm already getting to be really curious. I can already see some greenish rocks, which are kind of a tint of malachite copper ore. Because it's flooded pretty far back in here. Let's see. We'll just see where this way goes. I know it's not a very deep mine. And I can tell by all the tracks that other people have been in here. This looks like an upslope. Though, I don't think. Okay, yeah, it just ends right here. You can actually see the ore vein that they were following. Looks like there's pyrite and whatnot. The nice thing about this mine is that you can constantly hear the water, so you know which way is the exit. Even though this is not that deep of a mine. You can see that constant seepage through cracks in the rock has led to this flowstone kind of formation, which is what you would find in caves. An old wooden pole here. Boy, it's pretty much welded now to the rock with the flowstone. There's an old nail. And this part looks like it just kind of ends right here, so they didn't dig much further. There's an old rat's nest. Main tunnel, there's some trash. This looks like it's collapsed because it's covering the tracks. So this part here collapsed. Ice, E-I-S-Z-E-I-T. Huh. Yeah, this part got choked. There's some mold, the whitish stuff, which is growing on these little cedar plants that were carried in. And to be honest, it looked like these were put in here very recently because they're still green. There's a little bit of a musty smell. Some old signatures back in here. So yeah, this mine only goes in maybe 200 feet-ish or so. Wow. You can see just the colors of the veins in here. It looks like there's a lot of pyrite right in there. I can see a metallic fool's gold. look to it, which means I bet some of it has dropped as well. Some copper ore. It's very slimy. It feels like soapstone. So yeah, the pyrite really stands out as very shiny and golden. You can actually see all these little white specks in here, which upon looking up close, they appear to be digging marks. Now, I don't know if it was from the time of the miners here or if it's more recent, but you can see it all throughout the ceiling here. All right, coming back towards the entrance, it's where it gets flooded again. Oh, this is cool. I don't know why they're bobbing. There's tons of daddy long legs. You can just see all the specks of them. Wow. I don't know if it's like a mating call or if they see the light. I mean, not all of them are doing it, but the entranceway is sure always beautiful. Looks like it's still misty outside. Alrighty, that went well. Bright out here. And on we go. Alright, well, I parked about 300 feet up and descended down a very slippery slope here. This is a really ancient road, and I'm hoping it'll lead me right to the mine. So, this is the Red Cloud mine that I'm heading to. It's maybe 3 miles or so north of the last mine I was at, so here's hoping I will find it. It may be collapsed. This is a very, definitely overgrown area. Alright, this was probably where the entrance to the Red Cloud mine was. It's a very wide dugout channelway here, and there's a high amount of water coming out of the ground. So it probably came from underneath, and of course it's completely caved in now. There may be other openings elsewhere, but I kind of have my doubts. I think this mine is completely sealed up now. I'm going to head over to that structure. So here I am on top of the rotting structure. You can see the old tailings pile from the mine accumulated on the slopes here. Now it's got some big sized trees growing on it. There's really no sign of anything left except for a couple wooden boards. There's this metallic bolt, and then looks like there was a road down there which meandered up and maybe took all the crushed material. There's a foundation down there as well. So, never seen anything like this before. Some more artifacts here in the woods. So I made it back to my car and drove just a little bit further north to a little volcanic plug right in the woods through there called Diamond Rock. It's a nice trail that leads one up. You can see cliff face, good 100 feet up or so. Must have been a lookout tower here. At one time there's a cool little chasm in between here. You could see metal poles. Nice little cavity. And this is the way to go. You can actually see the remnants of a fire lookout tower that was right there, as well as all the poles for it. It's a nice view up from the top here. Trees are really green. There's a couple of small control burn fires. And then, yeah, it's a nice sized cliff down below. Alright, so I carefully made it up to the other summit. You can see all the old foundational pieces of the fire lookout. There's a geologic survey. Alright, made it down. Here's a view through that crack again. And about to head down. The rock here is volcanic, which is slightly different from where I was, where the mines were, which were over by that mountain there. So this is kind of the transition zone between the Cascades versus the Klamath Mountains. And just a short little jaunt back down to the car, and I'm gonna head back to town.